Hi, someone wanted me to do an update video and they wanted to know, now that I have been an AMFT in the field for a little while, was it all worth it? And the short answer for those of you who don't have time or don't want to stick around is yes. For those of you who want the longer answer, I'm going to get ready for a client and you can get cozy if you'd like, and I'll tell you why I feel like it was worth it. So just all around, yes. I mean, in spite of the, what was it, like 2 discussion posts a week at Touro, the 2 discussion posts, the reading of all the material that you got, a paper every month with the case and the signature assignments. I got so sick of writing those by the end. I never wanted to see a paper again, and then I'm back in school. So anyway, all of that along with the unpaid traineeship that you did while you were earning your hours, and the licensure process in general. In spite of that, and even on the hardest days as a therapist for me, being a therapist is worth it to me still. But I will say I have been very fortunate in my journey. There are people who have to work full-time jobs while they're in grad school and while they're also trying to earn all their hours to graduate from their master's program. I quit my full-time job at some point in my master's and only focused on my practicum. My husband was able to, well, then boyfriend, now husband, was able to take care of both of us financially without me having any income. And a lot of people don't have that. And so I recognize that made things so much easier for me in so many ways to not have to worry about finances. The other ways in which I was super lucky were both experiences with my supervisors. My first supervisor doing my traineeship was fantastic. She basically laid the groundwork for how I practice today. And, she taught me everything that I learned. Like, yes, I went to Touro and learned things there, but that was all theory, and this is how I operate in the therapy. This is therapy space. This is how I show up as a therapist, and theory and actual practice are very different. And so I'm forever grateful to her and how wonderful she was. That was such an invaluable experience because it really shaped the things that I know, the things that I bothered to learn outside of school, and it was such a formative time in my career that I'm really grateful that it was a good experience and a positive one, and not one where, I didn't feel like, and not one where I felt the opposite. And for my current supervisor, she is extremely amazing. Like, I definitely plan on being at my current site until I'm done with all 3,000 hours. She is such an amazing, inspiring woman, and I've been able to really continue to build upon the knowledge that I've gained from my previous supervisor, and is this gonna come out? I've been really able to build upon the foundation that I gained from my practicum supervisor. I've been so fortunate, and even if having a good site is not a guarantee, I've had people who have come from other employers as an associate and they did not have as good of an experience. So again, I recognize that my experience is not everyone's experience. I have been fortunate every way you could look at this situation. For others who don't share the same journey, things are harder. They are more difficult. Maybe you love your job less because, effectively, if you have to work full time and then you go from working full time while also doing your hours for practicum straight into being an associate, that you come into the field kind of already burnt out. There's no time to recover because you can't afford it. And so I can definitely understand for other people, it may be less great by the time you're an associate, even working in private practice, but it's been phenomenal for me, and I am forever grateful for that. I think my hair is done, and I'm gonna put on some lotion. But yeah, it's just, I am so lucky. I am so grateful. I am so happy, and I am at a point in my life and at a place of employment where I feel alive again. You know, at some point along the way before I became an associate, I was burnt out. And just along the journey to finish my master's, I was burnt out before I quit my job and like really just focused on this one thing. Because I had always held a full-time job and a part-time job. That's another story. And so I was able to quit everything else I was doing and really focus. And that is such a gift. I have a wonderful super, and she encourages us to take time off and to rest and recharge and to figure out what our boundaries are and hold firm in them. And she helps us hold them if we're struggling. And just all of that has impacted me on such a positive way. And if you do want to hear more about, you know, how I set my schedule and what my workday looks like, things like that, now that I'm in private practice, and basically kind of get to, even though I work for a group practice, it's like I have my own little mini practice because there's a lot of flexibility in how I do things. So if you want to hear more about that, feel free to let me know, and maybe I can do a video about that in the future. But hopefully that answered the question of just, you know, was it worth it? Absolutely, 100% resounding yes. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna wash my face and finish getting ready for my client. And yeah, take care.